Genshin Impact is an open-world gacha game that was released on September 28th, 2020 for iOS, Android, PC and the PlayStation 4. This is worth noting because despite being a day one player, I don't have access to my first ever account, and I actually only have access to the account that I made after getting a PlayStation 4 in 2022. Yes, that means that the account that you're looking at has been up since 2022. However, there is a massive issue. The characters are not built, the world quests are not done, and I am not up to date with the Archon quests either. I have no Primo Gems, I haven't even pulled on the Noelle banner, and I have about 0% exploration in every single region. Okay, 0 is a bit overdramatic, it's about 10%, but that is still criminally low for an account that has been around since before Sumeru's release. Now this begs the question, if I have characters like Kazuha, Flynn's, Zhongli, Mualani, etc., why did I stop playing? And there's a very easy answer. The build-up of world quests really dampened any motivation I had for playing the game because I felt too backlogged. And why did I not do the world quests, you might be asking yourself? Because there is no skip button. Unlike Honkai Star Rail, unlike Zenless Zone Zero, other games made by Hoyoverse, Genshin Impact does not have a skip button and has a massive issue with extremely long, unskippable cutscenes and dialogue that just does not matter. This takes world quests from maybe needing 2 hours to needing about 5 because you are so held up just by dialogue. So, with my graduation from uni being next month and me officially having nothing to do, I have decided that now is finally the time to fix my 4-year-old Genshin Impact account. So I wanted to get a few world quests out of the way before I started to do the whole building characters thing because my characters aren't actually high enough level to defeat the bosses that I need for their essential materials, but that's a whole other kettle of fish. I'm not worrying about that right now, so instead I decided to do the world quests. Most notably the Dragonspine world quest, because in my 4 years of playing Genshin Impact, my 6 years of playing Genshin Impact, I have not once completed this mission because they are so tedious, but I finally did it. Are you guys proud of me? You guys better be proud of me. This shit was so bad, bro. Fucking finally! Oh my god! 4 years. 4 years and I've finally done the quest. Oh my god. Next I finally did that weird Fontaine quest where Virgil like betrays you or something and then you have to defeat that ruin guard, break the glass, and then you're carried away by the current. I could not have defeated the ruin guard prior, so I just left it to collect dust. But I finally completed it. Another issue I see with Genshin Impact world quests is that the world quest chains just take far too much time. If it was like maybe 1 or 2 steps, like maybe 2 or 3 at a push, that'd be fine. But this took like 5 different quests just to complete, and I really don't think it needed to be that many. This could have been an email. Then I finally went ahead and unlocked the Imaginarium Theatre. Don't know when it came out. Don't really want to look it up because I don't want to realise how bad this account actually is. But oh my god, I can't challenge it anyway. But it was taking up a slot in the story quests, so I just decided to do it anyway. So the Imaginarium Theatre is unlocked. I then completed the Witch's Book quest thingy that Lisa had for us, where you see Alice and then you can choose to upgrade a character, etc. I don't even know. I don't have any of the characters that it actually offers to help you ascend, so there's no point in me having the book regardless. But I chose to summon Sucrose since she tends to be a pretty good part of a team for Flynn's, and I do want to become a Flynn's main at some point, so I might as well start doing that in the background where I can. So I decided to pick Sucrose for this. I already had her, but I decided to get her first constellation, just because. Next, I unlocked Stygian Onslaught, which, honestly, we don't really have much of a need for at the moment because of how violently underbuilt our characters are, so I just ignored it, and I did something really stupid. I attempted the next Ascension quest. Okay, look, I know that this was dumb, but I just kind of wanted to use this as a cornerstone to see how much we can actually improve. So I attempted to battle this, and it took over 5 minutes just for me to ultimately fail. If I'd had more time, I could have completed it, but I didn't have that time, which meant that my characters needed to be built before I could even do the Ascension quest. So that was what I was going to set my sights on doing. Although building characters in Genshin Impact is kind of like a stalemate for me because my world level is too high to actually farm materials without difficulty, and the only way I would actually be able to build these characters is if I used my twin privileges to my advantage. You see, my twin has an account, but it's much lower leveled. So I'm just going to hop on co-op and just farm on her world, because why not? The next world quest I did was related to the Fontaine Research Society, I believe. Now this is another one I've been putting off because it ended off with a boss fight, and I was not well equipped enough in the past to deal with said boss fight. However, I finally cleared that. I still truthfully don't know how I did it. If there was a time constraint on this one, I genuinely couldn't have, but I did it, and that was one less world quest in my dumb ass log, and it just meant that everything was a tiny bit unclogged. I was just that tiny bit closer to my ultimate goal of clearing all of those world quests. Then disaster struck. If you've been on Twitter at all in the Genshin Impact community for the past week or so, you will know that there has been a not zero amount of controversy surrounding the new Genshin Impact update. You see, this update brings with it no events, very minimal ways to get Primogems, 4 new characters, and no way for free-to-play players to actually pull on the banners. This is substantial for my account because I'm trying to fix it, however I cannot spend money on Genshin Impact. It is a free game. I should not have to spend money. However, with the direction that Genshin Impact is taking, it is making me want to improve this account less and less and less. Why am I going through all of these trials and tribulations, these long dialogues with no skip button, just to ultimately get no Primogems, nothing substantial at the end of the quest line? It just seems like a massive waste of time, and I personally don't see any reward or any sort of fulfillment coming from me actually continuing to try and fix this Genshin Impact account. I can't see myself playing Genshin Impact. I'm sorry, I was so excited for Sneznaya as a player of 6 years, but I just can't bring myself to care about a game that ultimately does not care about its fanbase. And I am unfortunately one of those people that has to rely on the free-to-play pulls, and even the pulls that you can get, it requires you to do things that my characters are not built to do. I am at a stalemate. There is no way for my account to go forward, and I'm throwing in the towel. It sucks. I did want to actually fix this account. I did want to enjoy Genshin Impact. But with Hoyoverse having 2 other games that are substantially better in terms of care for consumers in regards to rewards, I don't see why I would waste my time on Genshin Impact when I could do the same amount of time in Honkai Star Rail and get about 2 or 3 5 stars. I just don't see the point. So for now at least, until Genshin Impact adds a skip button, this series is on hold.